Imagine waking up every day carrying a weight you cannot see, a weight that quietly follows you into every financial decision. It shapes what you buy, where you live, how much risk you can take, and even how confidently you plan your future. That invisible weight is debt. Not just numbers on a statement, but a system that slowly steals time, freedom, and opportunity from millions of people every year. Most people think debt is simply a financial problem, but the truth is deeper than that. Debt often becomes a psychological chain that keeps people working harder while moving forward more slowly. And the most dangerous part? Many people don't realize how tightly those chains are wrapped around their financial lives until years have already passed. But here's the powerful truth. Debt does not have to control your future. It can be broken. And once you understand how these invisible chains actually work and the steps required to dismantle them, your financial life can begin moving in an entirely different direction. Stay with me until the end of this video, because I'm going to show you how debt silently traps so many people, and the clear path you can take to break free and reclaim control of your financial future. Debt rarely begins as a crisis. Most of the time, it starts quietly. A credit card used for convenience, a small loan taken during a difficult moment, a purchase justified with the promise of paying it off later. Each decision feels manageable on its own, but over time, those decisions begin to stack. Balances grow slowly, interest accumulates quietly, and before long, the numbers on the screen begin shaping the way a person thinks about money. What once felt like flexibility starts to feel like pressure. Every paycheck already has a destination. Every financial choice carries hesitation, and gradually, the feeling of freedom becomes replaced with a constant calculation. Can I afford this? Should I delay that? What happens if an emergency appears? The real burden of debt is not just the payment, it's the mental space it occupies. It's the quiet stress that follows someone through everyday life. The awareness that part of tomorrow's effort has already been promised to yesterday's decisions. And the longer this cycle continues, the heavier the weight can feel. Yet very few people wake up one day and intentionally decide to carry this burden. The path into debt usually follows patterns that are far more common than most people realize. Understanding those patterns is where clarity begins. Most people do not fall into debt because they are careless. They fall into it because modern systems make borrowing extremely easy. Credit is available instantly. A card swipe takes seconds. Online purchases happen with one click. The moment between desire and payment has almost disappeared. And when access to money becomes effortless, discipline becomes harder. One common trap begins with lifestyle upgrades. Income rises slightly, and spending quietly rises with it. A better apartment, a newer car, more subscriptions. Each upgrade seems reasonable on its own, but when spending grows faster than savings, debt begins filling the gap. Another trap appears during emergencies, unexpected medical bills, job interruptions, family responsibilities. Without a strong financial cushion, borrowing often becomes the fastest solution. Then there is the emotional trap. Stress, frustration, or the desire for comfort can push people towards spending that feels good in the moment but creates pressure later. Retail therapy, impulse purchases, temporary relief that becomes a permanent obligation. Over time, these traps begin forming a pattern. Payments multiply, interest compounds, and the financial system that once offered convenience begins demanding control. At this stage, many people start feeling powerless, as if the situation cannot change. But the most important turning point in breaking free from debt does not begin with money. It begins with mindset. There is a moment that changes everything in a financial journey. It is the moment when a person stops seeing debt as an unavoidable burden and starts seeing it as a challenge that can be solved. Many people trapped in debt carry a quiet belief that the situation is permanent. They think their income is too small, their obligations are too large, or the numbers have simply grown too big to overcome. But financial transformation rarely begins with numbers. It begins with perspective. The moment someone shifts from, "Why is this happening to me?" to, "What steps can I take today to change this?" That shift may sound simple, but it alters behavior dramatically. Instead of avoiding bank statements, a person begins studying them. Instead of ignoring spending habits, they begin observing them. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the total amount owed, they start focusing on the next practical step. Control begins returning. Clarity replaces confusion. Momentum slowly replaces frustration. And with that new mindset, something powerful becomes possible. A structured plan. Not a vague hope that things will improve, but a clear roadmap that gradually removes the weight of debt piece by piece. Once the mindset begins to shift, the next step is clarity. Debt often feels overwhelming because the numbers appear scattered and confusing. Multiple balances, different interest rates, various payment deadlines. The first step toward freedom is bringing those numbers into the open. List every obligation clearly, every credit card, every loan, every balance and interest rate. Seeing the full picture removes uncertainty and replaces it with awareness. Next comes a decision about strategy. Some people choose to pay off the smallest balances first, building motivation through quick wins. Others focus on the highest interest rates, reducing the amount of money lost to interest over time. Both strategies can work. What matters most is consistency. Each payment becomes a step forward. Even small extra payments begin shrinking balances faster than expected. At the same time, spending habits begin to shift. Temporary sacrifices appear. Fewer impulse purchases, more attention to where money flows each month. These changes are not punishments. They are adjustments designed to redirect financial energy toward freedom. As balances decline, something powerful begins happening. The payments that once went to debt start becoming available again. Cash flow improves, stress begins to decrease, and gradually, the financial chains that once felt permanent start loosening. What once looked impossible slowly becomes achievable. And the moment those final balances disappear, a completely different financial life begins to unfold. Breaking free from debt does not require sudden wealth. It requires clarity, structure, and consistent action. The first step is complete awareness. Every balance must be visible. Credit cards, loans, interest rates, minimum payments. Many people delay this step because seeing the full number can feel uncomfortable. But clarity removes uncertainty. When the numbers are visible, the problem becomes measurable. The next step is control over cash flow. Income must be organized with intention. Essential expenses come first. Then, the remaining money is directed toward reducing debt instead of expanding lifestyle costs. Small adjustments begin making a difference. Less unnecessary spending, more deliberate financial choices. Progress may appear modest at the beginning, but momentum begins building. A practical strategy many people use is focusing on one debt at a time. Some choose to eliminate the smallest balance first to build confidence. Others focus on the highest interest rate to reduce long-term cost. Both strategies share the same goal: continuous progress. Each payment reduces the burden. Each balance that disappears increases motivation. Over time, the number of obligations begins shrinking. The mental pressure starts easing, and what once felt like an endless cycle slowly becomes a path moving forward. Eventually, a powerful moment arrives, the moment when the final payment is made. And for the first time in years, income no longer flows toward past decisions. It becomes available for the future. When debt disappears, something deeper than financial relief happens. Time opens up, choices expand. Money that once serviced interest can now build opportunity. Savings grow, investments become possible. Financial decisions become calmer and more intentional. Instead of reacting to obligations, a person begins planning for goals, education, business opportunities, family stability, long-term security. This is where financial freedom truly begins, not in luxury or status, but in control. Control over income, control over decisions, control over the direction of life. Breaking the invisible chains of debt creates space for a completely different financial story. One built not on survival, but on possibility. Freedom from debt begins with a single decision. The decision to face the numbers, shift your mindset, and take the first step toward change. No matter how heavy the burden feels today, progress is always possible when clarity and discipline work together. If this message helped you see debt and financial freedom in a new way, then you are exactly who this channel is for. Financial Awaken with Aaron is about financial education, wealth building strategies, money mindset, and the practical steps that help individuals and families build long-term financial freedom. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. Because here, the goal is not hype or shortcuts. The goal is clarity, discipline, and the courage to build a better financial future. Your financial awakening can begin today.